So welcome, Dilara, and thank you for staying at our camp for 8 days. And could you let us know a little bit about your exciting personality?
Sure. My name is Dilara and I'm from England, and I live in the south of England with my 5 horses. I work as a craniosacral therapist for horses and a healer, and I'm also a writer. I've written 2 books. One of them is a channeled book of messages from my horses for humans about spirituality and self-help and self-development. And I'm really happy to be here at Tiziri camp.
So thank you so much. I'm curious, how did you start this journey of healing horses?
So my journey with horses in general began when I was a child. My father rides and he taught me how to ride, and I noticed that I had a really special bond with them from a very early age, and they really helped me to connect with my emotions and healing energy in general. Healing horses began, I was a rider for many years, and I worked in the polo industry as a groom, and I was training young horses, and I had an accident in Argentina. I had a really bad fall, and that changed my perspective of what was possible with horses. And I began to look into different therapies of how I could give back to horses rather than just what I saw was taking from them. And so I began training in lots of different modalities, including Reiki and animal communication and craniosacral work. And that's how it began. And it just took off from there, and then I developed a connection with my horses that keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So the journey keeps evolving.
And you have mentioned your dad. Were he like the one who inspired you to start this, or?
No, actually, it was a horse, I think, who inspired me the most. My father has an amazing connection with horses, but the healing work and the shift in my path really came through from the horse that I had the accident off. He became my teacher, and he still is today, and he teaches me how to listen at a much deeper level than I was before. So I would say it's more the horses and my guides rather than humans, even though there are some amazing healers out there.
So do you have horses of your own, and can you describe like a little bit the relationship between you and them?
Mm-hmm. So I have 5 horses of my own, and I always say to my friends and family that my herd of horses are my closest family, because I'm with them every single day. I've dedicated so much of my time to looking after them and learning from them, healing with them, myself, and also healing their bodies. And we have this student-teacher relationship where I'm very much the student, and that's very humbling when you're coming from a place of dominance in that dynamic. So I have an amazing relationship with them, and I love them all.
Very nice. Do you have do you travel overseas, all over the world, to heal horses?
I have traveled, yes. Not all over the world to heal horses, but I love traveling in general. I've always traveled on my own, and I enjoy going to remote destinations. So I've traveled to Egypt and India specifically to treat horses. And I plan on traveling to a lot of other places because they need it all over the world.
Very nice. You have contact now while staying at Tiziri camp. You had some contact with the camels. So what has been your experience with these camels?
So the camels that I've met so far, it's very interesting because they're almost prehistoric to me in the way that their energy feels, and it's a completely different bond and experience to horses. And at the same time, once that connection is made and once I can feel them and I'm connected to them and we're communicating, it's the same, you know, because every animal is a soul and every animal has energy within them. So my experience with the camels has been amazing, and they're all really well cared for, which is good.
So you are more kind of specialized in horses. So why horses specifically?
Well, again, it comes from my childhood, but I do notice that when I travel and I see other animals, there's something about horses that I think lives in me, and I'll never escape that. It's just, I see them and all of my focus goes on to caring for them, looking after them, learning about them, supporting them. And even though other animals have that and offer that, I just know that my role here is to share their message and help heal them wherever I can.
Very nice. Such a big-hearted person. So, why did you choose like to come to the desert and stay at Tiziri camp? And also, how your stay in the desert with us has affected? I mean, if it did, how did it affect your career? Or what did it add to your career or to your experience?
I've always been fascinated with silence and the desert, those two combinations. I first went to the desert when I was 15 in Israel, and I just fell in love with it. And since that time, I've always wanted to come back or to go back to any desert. And I do feel that some places on the planet just call us, and I definitely felt that with the Sahara. So how has it affected my career? I mean, being able to just completely surrender and go within myself will always help me be a better healer, ultimately. And I think that that's the same for everybody. And being so connected to and in commune with nature is the most important thing that we can all do as human beings anyway.
Exactly.
So doing that helps me to figure out how I can be more centered and grounded as a person, which will ultimately benefit the animals.
Very nice. So thank you so much for coming all the way to visit us here, and hope you come visit us again.
I will, definitely.
Thank you.